I chose to meet my business partner instead of my girlfriend. She blocked me mid-conversation, leading to an explosive text exchange. This post is lengthy due to copy-pasted text. If you want to read the texts without the context, I have marked the beginning of them. Additional context can be found in my previous post here. The summary of that post is, my girlfriend and I have not been communicating for the past 2 weeks after a significant argument. I keep her informed about my life, but she does not reciprocate because she has blocked me on all forms of communication. Currently, my girlfriend and I are back to conversing a little throughout the day. A few days ago, she asked me if we could talk, but only if I had genuinely reflected on what I wanted from this relationship and whether I could manage my frustrations without ruining the mood. I was truthful with her and expressed that I was not ready to have a conversation, but I still went to see her to reassure her that I want to be with her. Since that night, we have been texting infrequently throughout the day. I keep her informed, and she shares a bit with me as well. Here is a bit of context about my business partner and me. I met him through my girlfriend, as he is the boyfriend of my girlfriend's close friend. We get along well and decided to start a business together after we became enthusiastic about an idea and concept while traveling a month ago. We have been discussing the launch for almost a month and have gradually been working on setting up the company. Both of us are eager to get started, but our schedules are busy, and we haven't found time to sit down for an effective meeting yet. My girlfriend is aware of this business as I have been sharing updates with her through emails. Today, my business partner and I finally scheduled a meeting for 3:30 p.m. My girlfriend was supposed to grab coffee with a friend at 5:30 p.m. We informed each other of our plans yesterday. I worked from 8 o'clock a.m. to 2:30 p.m. and then went home to freshen up. My business partner texted me, asking if we could move our meeting to 4:30 p.m. To provide further context, the plan was to meet in person at a cafe. I told him that was fine, and since I had an hour before our meeting, I decided to fit in a quick workout at the gym. When I arrived at the gym, my girlfriend texted me to say that her plans had been canceled and that they might catch up over FaceTime or something similar. That was the last I heard from her regarding her hangout. I kept my girlfriend updated on my workout, and when I left to meet my business partner, we met at 4:30 p.m., and after I informed my girlfriend of the time, she sent me a blocked message. I took it lightly and continued working on my business with him. We ended up discussing business matters until 8 o'clock p.m., and then we both realized we were hungry, so we opted to get tacos. During this time, I only informed my girlfriend when I arrived at the meeting and when I left to get food. I didn't think it was necessary to update her afterward. I had a meal with my business partner, and we continued talking a bit more until 9:30 p.m. After that, I emailed her that I was done for the day and heading home because I was starting to feel unwell. I occasionally suffer from severe migraines, and headaches don't help and needed some rest. I will share the email conversation. I'm done with dinner. We talked extensively about business, ideas, and our vision for the company. I want to share everything with you. It's so cold outside. We sat outside to eat since it was busy inside, and I didn't have a jacket, which likely worsened my headache. I'm really tired and my head hurts even more now, probably because of the cold. I'm going to head home to rest. Did you actually block me here? Forget you. Go freeze to death. You never stick to your word. Yes, I blocked you, just like I expected. Imagine my disappointment checking my blocked list and seeing nothing from you. I allowed myself to become too attached again. Please just go harm yourself. I had the whole day free, and of course you didn't want to see me. As expected, you don't want to see me, drive to see me, or do anything with me anymore, huh? Since you have no motivation now. See, I blocked you because I knew you wouldn't keep me updated. Of course, you acted exactly how I predicted. Once again, you lied to my face. You told me you're used to not updating me, and since you're so accustomed to not hearing from me, you aren't even curious anymore. You don't even worry about me at all. You didn't care that I drove 45 minutes by myself. Why don't you care? You knew about my canceled coffee chat and didn't even bother to check in on me. You keep doing this to us. I don't know why. Just let me know if you ever want to talk. I do want to see you, but I'm feeling terrible physically, and I don't think I could give you my full attention with my headache at the moment. I did inform you that I was going to dinner, but I apologize for not notifying you that I had arrived because my business partner called me before I got there, and I was focused on getting in that I didn't stop to text you. I'm home now and going to rest. I genuinely want to see you, but I feel so poorly right now and don't want to give you only part of my attention. Her. You're more focused on him than on me, right? That guy over me. Sure, forget you stay home and keep making excuses. You only want to see me at the end of the day. So you don't even want to spend time with me. You didn't update me about the meeting. You didn't update me about dinner. You didn't share anything with me, not even what you were doing each minute and what you ate. So you don't want to share those details with me. Fine. Since you dislike me so much, I'll just accept my date invitation. Don't bother responding. Oh, poor Mr. Migraine, who can't even send one tiny text to communicate what's happening. Sure, sit in the cold and stay out late. You did this to yourself, as always. You're terrible to yourself and to everyone around you. Honestly, just do not contact me unless you are ready to converse. When you are prepared to genuinely discuss and provide full, thoughtful answers throughout the entire conversation, without any trace of negativity or bad energy. I deserve your undivided attention since you never gave it during our talks. The boundaries are currently confusing for me. I don't know if it's more painful to be disappointed knowing you lack motivation and feel you have no obligations toward me, especially since you often let those obligations slip, or being upset when we are knowingly together, and you do have obligations to me. Because we've been in contact for the past couple of days, it has confused the boundaries anew for me, leading me to find time in my day to see you and expect the same from you. This made me think of seeing you immediately after my plans were canceled and getting ready to adjust my schedule to accommodate meeting you. I expected updates from you, but you didn't provide any and didn't even attempt to see me after work, before your meeting, or even afterward. I'm very confused right now. If I don't hear from you within a month, we are officially finished. We both agreed that you had this past month to sort out your feelings and decide what you want. I have given you space for the past month, and you are still unprepared to talk. I actually have a free day next week, and if things go well, perhaps you will be ready to discuss things by that day. If not, I will see you in less than a month or perhaps never again. I don't need this back and forth. It feels like you never provided an answer last night or today about whether you wanted to be in touch before we talk. You do not respect me. You never have, and it seems you never will. You will receive the same treatment. This is reminiscent of a year ago with your film projects. You dive into your film endeavors and business with him, and suddenly, I'm no longer part of your life. I cease to exist. No matter what you say, you treat me as though I do not exist whenever you become involved in your individual life, or when something inconvenient arises, like things not going your way. You only reach out to me when you want to be coddled or when you're no longer busy. You refuse to find a balance in your life to include me. Fine, but that's your downfall. You're setting yourself up to live alone, or maybe it's just me you're neglecting. You choose to spend time with a psychological cheater even when you're not feeling well instead of dedicating that time to me. I get it now. It's just me. You think your time is better spent with an inconsiderate person rather than someone who has given you everything. Nice. Well, that's quite a lot. Am I to blame for not visiting her today? What do you think about this situation? Should I respond? What is the best course of action? If you actually read through this, I appreciate it. I am willing to answer any questions you have for context. Story 2. My partner struggles with financial maturity, relying on family while I fought for independence, and his reckless spending leaves me frustrated. To clarify, I am not looking for financial advice, but rather guidance on how to navigate the challenging situation regarding my partner's approach to financial responsibility and its overall impact on our current life, future, and relationship. This may come across as a rant, and to some degree, it is. However, it serves as an expression of my frustration, concern, and growing uncertainty about our future together. I genuinely love my partner, but I cannot overlook the significant differences in our outlooks on life, responsibility, and planning. I feel compelled to articulate these emotions, both to gain clarity for myself and to seek advice from those who may have faced similar issues. Yes, I have utilized ChatGPT to enhance an initial draft for improved readability while conveying my feelings and context regarding the situation. Background: I am a 24-year-old male, my partner is a 22-year-old male, and we have been together since he was 19 and I was 21. Despite the small age difference, our maturity levels seem drastically different. I do not mean to belittle him, but the distinction is clear. My upbringing and life experiences compelled me to become self-sufficient at an early age, leading me to learn responsibility through challenging circumstances. By the time I reached his age, I had already encountered financial hardships, lived independently, managed bills, and established a foundation for a stable future. It is challenging not to compare my circumstances at 19 and 22 to his, and that disparity makes me question how, or if, he will achieve the same level of independence. I am not claiming to be perfect. My journey involved trial and error, mistakes, and valuable lessons. However, I took the initiative to grow, and I am uncertain if he is ready to embark on a similar path, even with support and at an age older than mine at that time. I began working at 16, changing jobs to gain experience and find security. At 18, I moved out due to familial issues and briefly experienced homelessness before securing my own place. I cohabitated with a partner for a while, which taught me the importance of not relying on someone else to manage a household. I witnessed firsthand the consequences of one individual bearing all the financial responsibilities. That lesson has stayed with me as I dedicated myself to ensuring my future security. Even amid hardships, including the challenges from the pandemic, I prioritized my financial independence. I worked diligently to create a stable future, balancing debt reduction with personal progress, determined not to become stagnant by focusing solely on my debts. I moved out at 18, facing the realities of self-sufficiency early, and even when I lived with a partner, I learned the importance of personal responsibility. I saved diligently to purchase and insure my car, which became a symbol of my independence and necessitated sacrifices in other areas of my life. Every financial decision I've made, whether that's maintaining steady employment, monitoring expenses, or exploring mortgages, has been motivated by a desire to avoid instability. I don't lead an extravagant lifestyle, but I take pride in managing my finances effectively, understanding that security and progress are interconnected. One factor contributing to our differences may be the timing of our personal development. I came out as gay at 13, allowing me years to refine my understanding of relationships and adulthood within that context. My partner, on the other hand, only came out at around 18 and has experienced just one failed relationship before me, which ended with his being deceived. I recognize that he is still figuring out what it means to be an independent adult in a same-sex relationship, and I strive to be patient as he navigates this. Yet, I feel he is not making the requisite progress despite the guidance and support available to him. My partner has traveled a markedly different path, leaving school, starting college but dropping out, working in low-paying jobs before quitting, and remaining unemployed for a substantial portion of our relationship. He has only consistently held a job for the last 18 months, and even now, managing financial responsibilities remains a challenge. Unlike me, he was not pushed towards independence at an early age, nor did he face the financial struggles that forced me to mature swiftly. Instead, he has relied on the security of living with family for longer, which has diminished the sense of urgency regarding financial self-sufficiency that I experienced. By his age, I had already encountered and overcome numerous challenges, making it difficult to comprehend why he is not advancing more quickly now, particularly with my support. Relationship challenges, our differences are not merely evident in financial matters. They also affect our relationship on a deeper level. I strongly suspect that our separate lifestyles have played a significant role in the decline of our intimacy. His struggles with depression are a factor, but I believe there are deeper issues, potentially linked to the infidelity in his previous relationship. The shift occurred during and after that time, leading me to question whether it has impacted his ability to engage fully in a relationship. I do not think he is indifferent, but I believe he does not approach our situation with the seriousness it warrants or assumes that everything will resolve itself. At times, it feels as if he is depending on me to solve everything for him, which adds to my frustration. I know he finds the responsibilities of paying bills, rent, and furnishing a home daunting, perhaps even overwhelming. While I understand the intimidation that can come with these responsibilities, it does not change the fact that they are essential steps toward achieving independence. I have contemplated moving out on my own, but I worry he would harbor resentment for being left behind in his pursuit of financial independence. There is also a real possibility that I would relent and allow him to live with me anyway. My affection for him makes it difficult to consider leaving him behind. Additionally, I genuinely believe that cohabitation could benefit our relationship because our conflicting work schedules make it challenging to spend quality time together or be intimate. However, I need to be certain he is prepared to take that step with me and not simply lean on me to navigate the experience. Financial and career differences. I take pride in my financial responsibility, although I was not always this way. I made mistakes in my youth, but learned valuable lessons that shaped my approach to finances. I work full-time, have a side gig with Uber Eats, and make informed financial decisions to maintain stability. I am actively pursuing mortgage options to escape my current challenging living situation because achieving financial independence is crucial for me. Conversely, my partner is caught in a cycle of financial difficulties, self-doubt, and unwise decision-making. I strongly suspect he is underpaid, yet despite my encouragement to pursue better opportunities, he remains resistant. He lacks confidence in his abilities and fears change, which keeps him from moving forward. What frustrates me the most is his spending habits. Despite earning only $800 this month, leaving him with just $200 after bills, he still made imprudent purchases, such as ordering food and buying recreational drugs to lift his spirits. It becomes challenging to empathize with his financial struggles when he consistently engages in impulsive spending on items like cannabis, tobacco, and unnecessary online purchases. Final thoughts and request for advice. I do not want the easy suggestion of just leave him. That is not an option for me. I love him, and I genuinely wish to help him mature without being controlling or condescending. How can I encourage him to take financial responsibility in a way that resonates with him? How do I navigate a future that feels uncertain when I am the only one actively planning for it? Any insights, advice, or different perspectives would be greatly appreciated. Story 3. Crushed on a coworker. Shared hikes and laughs, but her mixed signals leave me questioning if she's interested or just friendly. I would like to share a story and seek anyone's guidance regarding these interactions. Perhaps you could offer some advice for similar future engagements. I have developed a crush on a coworker, and we share many interests. We worked together and exchanged casual conversations for a couple of months. I have consistently made efforts to get to know her better. She recently ended a relationship with her ex, and after mentioning that she was over him, she saw some of my hiking and adventure photographs, expressing that they aligned with her interests. I then suggested that we go hiking together. Until that point, our text conversations had been minimal, as she mainly responded to my messages. She expressed excitement about the hike, but canceled 2 hours beforehand due to a family emergency. She apologized and proposed rescheduling for a few days later. I was happy to accommodate, and she appreciated my understanding. She indicated she was looking forward to the new hiking date, and when the day arrived, we had a wonderful time together. We spoke for almost 7 continuous hours, which felt long and enjoyable. We did some workouts at the mountaintop and playfully flirted while doing squats, maintaining eye contact and smiling at each other. She won the squat competition. We both share a passion for fitness, healthy eating, and hiking. Although I am technically her supervisor, I respected the boundaries, knowing it's her first job, and I did not want to complicate things if she didn't feel the same way. However, I also did not want to pass up the chance with someone so attractive and aligned with my goals, so I refrained from forcing any flirting that did not come naturally. Towards the end of our hike, it was getting dark, and we had to jump over some rocks near a creek. This was my favorite part as I got to catch her when she jumped after me. After dropping her off, I remarked that I could already feel the effects of the workout, the sense of achievement. She responded with, "Yeah, I feel it too." Today was amazing. I agreed and expressed it was one of the most enjoyable hikes I had experienced, mentioning that I had never played patty cake squats before. I joked that I would have to practice squats to beat her next time. However, the text communication dwindled for about a week. At work, interactions were pleasant, and I remained engaging, making her laugh. Yet, she only became animated when I introduced a topic she enjoyed. I have been bringing her healthy homemade meals when our schedules happen to align at work. She has said she likes everything I make. She shared that one of the red flags with her ex was his lack of communication, which made her feel uncared for. A week passed with minimal text exchanges and only limited interactions at work. I recalled that the next day she had an important test, so I sent her a spontaneous message wishing her good luck. She replied positively, saying she would take the good vibes with her. Afterward, she messaged me for the first time to share that she had passed. I responded, but she read it and didn't engage further. A few days later, while at work, she inquired about my upcoming birthday and mentioned she had forgotten the exact date. Later that day, I invited her to join a few friends and family for a trip to the mall followed by sushi. She eagerly replied, "Of course," and then texted me the night before, stating she was looking forward to celebrating with me. Again, I found myself confused by her responses, which seemed positive, but her overall actions suggested otherwise. She mentioned she was visiting the gym and was given a couple of free sessions with a trainer. I expressed interest in accompanying her, but noticed she became silent and hesitant before mentioning she had guest passes available for that Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, but I did not follow up on that. My birthday celebration was enjoyable. We went to the mall, and our group met up at Dave & Buster's to play games. She noted there was a bar there and commented on how cool it would be to have an adult-only arcade. While she had mentioned drinking less, she also indicated she has a lot of fun when she does. During our time there, I told her she was already entertaining, to which she reaffirmed that she is even more fun when she drinks. My friend's children were present, and since I had driven her from work, she needed to return to her car later, so I did not join her for drinks. She has mentioned several times her desire to become a mother, and when she saw me with my friend's 15-month-old, she expressed enjoyment, but then deliberately shifted her focus away from that, leaving me uncertain about her feelings. Was she trying not to develop deeper feelings, or was she simply being considerate of my friends? They remarked that she was enjoying herself. When we went out for sushi, I chose to sit next to her, even though the bench was somewhat cramped, enabling us to maintain contact without appearing overly forward. I made subtle gestures, lightly touching her arm to encourage natural escalation. She shared more details about how her ex made mistakes by not giving her gifts for her birthday, not even flowers. In unison, we exclaimed that one could always pick flowers. She also told me about how some friends of our co-workers' boyfriends have a crush on her, which made me wonder if she was trying to hint that I should be better than her ex or attempting to provoke jealousy. After I dropped her off at her car, I asked her to text me when she got home to confirm she arrived safely, which she did. She hoped I had a great birthday and remarked on how much fun we had. I agreed it was a fantastic birthday and expressed my happiness that she enjoyed herself. Now, we find ourselves back at square one, similar to, after the hike, no communication for another week, with only mild interactions at work. She appears to engage more with other coworkers unless I initiate conversation. My goal has been to avoid making things awkward, and I believe I have succeeded in that respect since she doesn't ignore or avoid me. However, it feels quite one-sided, which is somewhat disheartening. I have had 6 girlfriends in the past, but I have never felt this way about someone, especially since we share similar goals in health, career, adventure, and food. Yet, this situation is complicated. After 13 years invested in my job, I do not want to jeopardize my position, especially considering the personal challenges she has overcome to secure this job as her first. I am trying to navigate my feelings while also wanting to take advantage of this opportunity and figuring out how to escalate things without overwhelming her. Tomorrow marks 1 week since the birthday event. I discovered an adult-only bar arcade in the city that sounds entertaining. I am contemplating sending her a text inviting her, as we have discussed it, and I am curious to see how much more entertaining she becomes when drinking. I'm uncertain if I should invite her to the bar arcade since it was her suggestion, and I am intrigued by how fun she might be when drinking. Alternatively, I could take a step back, entirely refraining from texting or initiating contact, while fostering a good atmosphere at work and observing our interactions. I might also stop bringing her food to work, but she could still enjoy some of mine, as it was the foundation of our early connection. I tend to be bolder when flirting and escalating relationships with women who are not coworkers, but my past two crushes have been colleagues. The first one was easier, while this one presents challenges. She is shy, and I struggle to discern whether she is uninterested but polite or genuinely wants to hang out as friends. If she were not interested, she likely wouldn't engage with me, but why does everything else appear off? Alternatively, she could be interested, but find it difficult to express that interest or does not want to make it too obvious, waiting for me to make the first move. I am unsure. Perhaps I could grow bolder with flirting if I can get her out, as I am comfortable maintaining a relaxed atmosphere. If my approach isn't welcome, as long as I don't make it uncomfortable, then things might work out. This experience has ignited a motivation within me to enhance my self-care. I have identified many qualities I seek in a partner through her, and I have also recognized some personal insecurities and areas for improvement in my confidence, regardless of whether anything develops with her or not. Thank you for taking the time to read my thoughts. Story 4. I planned our 20th anniversary dinner, but he forgot. After a long absence, I realized I am still lonely even with him here. I need to share my feelings. Today marks my 20th wedding anniversary. I am exhausted from feeling unhappy, unfulfilled, and isolated. I understand this is primarily my issue, yet he seems indifferent. We are both 39 years old. He lacks the space, time, or energy for me or for our relationship, and I'm so weary of this. He is a decent person, kind, helpful, sociable, humorous, and possesses many admirable qualities. He has never been physically abusive. When he was the primary earner, he managed it well, and we had everything we needed, allowing me to focus on our children. We both grew up quickly since we had our son when we were 17. That experience was challenging for us, and we missed out on many things. However, we were blessed with a wonderful son, followed by our daughter 4 years later. A lot has transpired since then, both good and bad. He started to display a pattern. We celebrate special occasions with others, spending less and less time together. Days like my birthday and our anniversary have become increasingly overlooked. Yes, I am nearly 40, behaving like a child about this, but I buy my own cakes, decorate the house, and remind him to inform the kids. He just shows up, barely engaged, and then returns to whatever he was doing. When my daughter turned 12, she took over celebrating my birthdays, and she and my son make them delightful, just as I do for them and my husband. Our anniversaries follow a similar trend. I celebrate them alone. He informed me long ago that he remembers the date and knows when it approaches, but simply does not care. It does not resonate with him. I suggested we take charge of our celebrations ourselves, making it a day for us to enjoy together. I did all the planning, and he would appear briefly, only to revert to his own interests. Approximately 8 years ago, we faced a financial crisis and nearly lost our farm. I returned to work, gradually improving my salary, and now I am the primary breadwinner while he concentrated on making the farm profitable again. That was our agreement. The farm is located outside the city, and although we used to commute frequently, I could no longer do that with my corporate job. He volunteered to take the kids there and return. However, he started spending more time at the farm. Weekends turned into 4 or 5 days, then a week there and a week here, becoming biweekly visits. He also picked up a side job helping a friend, which occasionally kept him away for a month at a time. The issues have accumulated because he struggles with communication. No calls, no responses. If there was an emergency involving the kids, I had to send him a text. As each day passes, he grows more distant. The breaking point came when I experienced an ectopic pregnancy and needed to be induced. It was during the COVID pandemic, requiring me to travel to another city. I felt fragile, anxious, and profoundly emotional. There was even a small risk to my health. I needed his support, and I felt he should have been there for me, especially since I manage most things on my own, fixing and tackling problems without his assistance. He has explicitly stated, "You are no princess." This situation was different, however. I had my other 2 children without him, as he was at the farm and unable to attend for various reasons. It was no big deal back then, but this time it felt incredibly overwhelming. He refused to take me, insisting he had to be at the farm to watch the kids. Despite my suggestions that my cousin could look after them, he remained adamant that the farm could not be left unattended for that long. I managed the situation by myself and still harbor resentment towards him, which only intensifies my feelings of neglect. Months later, after I had started to heal, I told him during a calm and normal conversation that I needed and wanted more from our relationship. For some inexplicable reason, I still love him, but this life is not what we promised one another. This is not what we agreed upon when I returned to work. I am not satisfied. He seemed taken aback, acknowledged that I was right, and stated that we could resolve it. He assured me he would figure things out, and without me even asking, he promised to repair the house at the farm so we could move there, now that the children are older and independent. I have been financially supporting the farm through my job, which means I need to work indefinitely, as it seems the farm is not yet stable. Unfortunately, that beautiful plan fell apart. Since then, he has avoided the subject entirely. He continues to be the same distant person. The only topic we can discuss is the farm. He has his own life, and I feel excluded from it. Even on social media, he posts daily about the farm, our children, and the workers or neighbors. The shocking realization occurred when my daughter requested a picture of me for my birthday, and the only decent quality image was on his phone. She scrolled back to 2015 and found no photos of me on his device. It seems that, regardless of whether I am dressed up or not, I do not matter to him. He is enjoyable to be around, funny, intelligent, and engaging in small talk, which is appreciated by me, the kids, friends, and family alike. He is a genuinely good person. However, he consistently avoids deeper conversations with me. I suggested couples therapy, but he declined, stating that it is too expensive and he does not believe we have significant issues. So today, on our 20th wedding anniversary, I have been contemplating leaving him for quite some time, but I just realized that the attention and affection I crave might not be found with anyone else. I long to feel loved, recognized, and valued by someone. I desire all of those things. I am uncertain how I would feel if I left. All I know is that I feel lonely, even when he is present. I made a reservation at a nice restaurant last month and informed him about it. He responded enthusiastically, mentioning that we would enjoy a lovely meal. However, after dealing with an issue related to the electrical installation a week ago, I canceled the reservation to use the money for the farm, as I always do. This morning, I called him, but there was no answer, which is typical. He texted me back to suggest purchasing some materials for a fence, and that was the extent of our exchange. He is aware of the significance of the date. If he had sent even a simple meme, it would have made me so happy. I understand he has no extra money, and I acknowledge that he is not particularly sensitive. That is fine. But if he had just acknowledged the day in some way, it would have meant so much to me.